Hey, Todd Burrier from toddburrier.com. Today I'm going to talk about three things that absolutely will guarantee your success. It will guarantee your success. And they'll actually guarantee your success beyond whatever company that you're in. And I don't say that because I think you should move companies. What I'm saying is, if by chance you're in a company that doesn't last, which there's, depending on how old that company is, there's pretty good chance, right? I mean, that would be true in any company, right? If you went to work for a company that was 2 years old in the corporate world, there's like an 85% chance it's not going to be around in 6 or 7 years. That's just fact, right? So that's going to be, you're going to have that in a networking situation too. But if you do these three things, it won't matter because you'll be able to then move on relatively easy. And then if you have a legacy company, which is what I believe everybody should be looking for, then these things will serve you to build a big business over time if that's what you want, regardless of who you are and where you start. Remember, I'm all about helping the everyday person build an income stream for life. That's what I'm about because I started with nothing, come from nothing. I'm not a guy who cares about billions of dollars. I don't care. I care about life, and I like to teach you things that will help you be effective with people and grow and develop whatever it is that's important to you. So, three things, and I learned this from my mentor. Everybody should have a coach or a mentor. It took me years to understand that, but I have one who's amazing, and so I'm passing it on to you. So two of them I always did. The third was new to me. So the first is number of contacts per day. Set for yourself a number of contacts per day and do not deviate. If you're going to do anything, go above it, right? Contacts and presentations a day are absolutely paramount. Eyeballs on your presentation are the most important thing in getting the engine started. The relationship is the key for the long term, but getting it started happens with eyeballs on your presentations. And so whatever that is, whether you're meeting face-to-face with people or sharing a video or sharing an audio or sharing a brochure or sharing a website, it doesn't matter what your mechanism is. Whatever that is, every day you need to focus on talking to a certain number of people to get them to see that presentation so that you can build your business. And so that is number one key. I always did that my whole career. Literally, I very rarely, for many, many years, it was very rare to go a month where I didn't at least talk to 100 new people in that month, at least, right? So that's just 3 a day, really 3 to 4 a day. That's not a big number, but that's how I ended up building my business. And of course, there were months where I talked to 300 or 500, depending on the nature of the time. But remember, this is about long term, right? So if you commit to a number, let's say it's 3. And today it's easy to do because of technology. But let's say it's 3. If you commit to that number and you do it and you don't deviate from that number for the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, how many people will you talk to? I mean, you shouldn't have a short-term perspective, right? That businesses aren't built in short-term. I mean, do they happen in the world? Sure they do, right? I mean, we're in that age where it's easy to start one and sometimes someone gets lightning in a bottle, but you can't base your life on that. You have to base it on solid fundamentals and principles that work. And so if you talk to 3 people a day between now and 5 years, you're going to have a big business. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's how it will work. And so you absolutely, I'm giving you 3 things that guarantee it. So 1, you've got to set a contact goal and stick to it and not deviate. Number 2 is you got to work on your personal development skills daily, right? So just like you plan to make your contacts and do them every day, I don't care what it is, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, your skill development is going to happen because you're doing the work, right? You're making the contacts. So your skill development is happening because of number 1. But you can also be learning new skills at the same time and or personal development every day because you have to become better. When I started, I had no skills in the front end of the business, right? Like I had no skills for prospecting. And I had the opposite. I had a huge fear and discomfort because of being an introvert. I was not, I don't want to use the word skilled. I was a very good natural listener. And then I honed that skill because of my introversion, which made me really good in the actual conversation. But I had to learn the skill up front for that, and personal development helped me even recognize that introversion was my advantage, right? So that's the point here. So I went from no skill in the front end of the business to being a master of the front end, a master, like where I always knew the right thing to say for the most part, right? And certainly the right way to say it, because that's what I teach, because I built and developed a style that anybody can do. Anybody can do what I teach, right? It's so comfortable for other people that it makes them open. And so I also had to work on my attitude, because I had a negative perspective of myself and my life. And my belief system was all messed up about what was possible. I was a poor me kind of guy. And so I worked on that to become the positive person that you see, right? The person who can make an impact. And so you work on your skills and your personal development every day. That's the second one. The third one, this is an interesting one, because this is a very big, long view. And if you're serious from the long term, you might consider this sooner rather than later. And that is, create some form of content per day. Not a lot, doesn't have to be a lot. But what I mean is something that gets you out in the world. It's like, and from a marketing perspective. And I can give you coaching on this if you need that, right? If you need some coaching, we can schedule an hour together, and I can give you some insight based on who you are and what you prefer, and what your skill set is and what you like to do. But things like social media or YouTube or a blog, or there's a million things that you can do. But the point is, you creating a marketing strategy from the long term, so that over time you begin to develop prospects that find you, right? So this is the third piece for a huge long-term solid success, because you're actually expanding your reach when you do that. The first two will build you a business, absolutely. Contacts a day and growing yourself. The third can build you a bigger business. So I hope that was helpful. You do those three things every day, it's going to happen. It's going to happen for you, right? Just stay true, and it'll happen for you. So I hope that this was helpful. If you do need some coaching, let me know. We can schedule a little time based on your situation. So either send me an email, or go over to the Work With Me section and just type in a message and shoot it over to me. If you haven't subscribed to my blog yet, make sure that you do. Go up and sign up for it. Send out 3 to 5 training blogs a week, and they'll be helpful for you. I also do live training on my fan page on Facebook 5 days a week. Feel free to share this message. And if you have comments, please put them in. And questions, please put them in. And I'm happy to address them. Hey, thanks for stopping by.